Well, if we want a good sort of ending question, I think this is probably a really good one then.
Hit me.
What are we all most surprised about with our experience with the deck?
Oh, man.
What's been the biggest surprise?
This will be another half hour.
Well, I have a ready-made answer for that because I already talked about that on my Patroncast, the podcast I do for my patrons. What really surprised me is how much the deck has changed my opinion on Steam in general. I never viewed Steam as a platform or as an interesting thing to use. I didn't care about the achievements. I didn't care about my games list. I didn't curate it, organize it. I didn't hide the games that I didn't like. It was just a launcher, and it was basically something that I had to use. With the deck, I'm basically treating it like I treat my Xbox, which is I want to get the achievements. I want to have a nice friends list, well curated. I want to organize my games, create categories. I want to do all of that stuff because it gives me a connection between the hardware and the software that I never had with a PC.
Why, though?
If you have the keyboard and the mouse, they're this intermediate layer between me and the software itself. It's disconnecting me from it. And so I don't get attached to Steam on PC. But on the deck, I literally touch Steam with my hands. And it works way better for me. And so now it's yet another platform that I'm going to try to complete games to 100% and stuff like that. It really created that connection that I didn't have before with it.
Wow. What a great answer.
Yeah.
How can anybody follow that answer up?
Jesus Christ.
I can.
Nick. You could have gone last.
I feel like it has changed my relationships with video games because I'm very busy. Like I run a company besides my YouTube channel. I do all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. And when I'm done work for the day, I don't want to go to my living room, turn on my PC and start futzing around and playing games that way. Or even console. Like I have a Switch, I have a PS4. I don't like playing them that much unless I have other people over and we're playing it back and forth. The Steam Deck has fundamentally changed how I play video games because I don't want to sit here either and play games at my desk where I've been all day. So I turn on the TV, let some YouTube or some other show run, and I play games. And I think I've played more games on my Steam Deck in the last 2 weeks than I have cumulatively over the last year. Like, that's how important, I mean, that's how fundamentally different this is for me when it comes to video games. And it's, you know, I started my YouTube channel originally because I didn't feel like I was spending enough time playing video games. Huh. And then it slowly over time became too much. It became too distracting to play video games. But now I'm back to it because of the Steam Deck. And I love that.
Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate on behalf of a lot of viewers and listeners. Do you think that this is just the honeymoon period for you, Gardner? And that's why? Because of the freshness and newness of it?
It could be, but I'm usually kind of in tune with that like phenomena, like how I experience like the honeymoon period, and I don't think that it is. Like, maybe when I start to run out of games in my library and I don't want to spend more money to buy new ones, then I might not use the deck as much. But like legitimately, I don't think that it's a honeymoon period.
Okay.
And if you're like basically everyone else, you'll never run out of games in your library.
Right. I've got like 700 games in my Steam.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I've got 200.
just the games that are on the certified list now, the verified and playable, just those games, I could be busy for years. So
yeah. Well, especially with your Steam Master account.
I'm very jealous.
Yes, the mythic Master account does exist. It also exists for Epic Games, but not all games. I bought Final Fantasy VII Remake. And sometimes I just like to buy the games to support the developers, especially the indie developers. But, well, thank you for such a couple just absolutely eloquent and beautiful answers. And now I guess I'll try and top that, which I won't. I have a $5,000 gaming PC from Falcon Northwest, like the Lamborghini of boutique PC makers, right? I have a Asus ROG 4K HDR 120 hertz monitor. I could be playing all the games that I have been enjoying on my Steam Deck on that PC, or I could be playing on my Xbox Series X on a 4K TV in the living room. I'm not. And I think I'm not because, I mean, I'm just going to basically steal what you guys have said. The same reason that they said. I feel more connected, personally connected and invested in my games. And it's weird to say that I am more immersed in them on a 7-inch screen, but I really am. Like, I'm more immersed in these games. I'm more excited about playing them and holding them in my hand than I am sitting on a couch in front of a huge 50-inch TV. And I think part of that has to do with some of the Steam input stuff. Like, I never used an Elite controller, the Xbox Elite controller. I never used a Steam controller before. And so this is kind of my first experience with those rear grip buttons. And the first time that I realized I could make those the paddle shifters for like Dirt Rally and Forza, it changed everything for me. And then I was like, oh man, I'm playing God of War, right? And I absolutely hated the fact that I think you had to press the D-pad down to do the quick turn, which is really kind of cumbersome because I don't want to take my thumb off the movement stick, right? Especially in battle. So I just mapped it to one of the back grip buttons. And I did the same thing for Dark Alliance, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, where now instead of having to move off of the left thumbstick to use the D-pad to select my weapon loadout or my spells, I'm just going back and forth while I'm moving and fighting. And that's a literal game changer for me. And now every game that I've played before on my PC or my Xbox, I want to revisit here and see how I can improve the experience with the extra control inputs that I have. I don't know, man. I love this thing. I love it. Yeah, I love it. It's hard to get work done. It really is.
Very much.
It's not a honeymoon period for me because I've had it for a month, and I know that I could be getting more hits, more traffic if I was writing about like Ubuntu or other more popular topics at Forbes, but this is like all I want to talk about. So yeah, it's it leaves me very, very hopeful for the future of handheld gaming and of desktop Linux.
Wow.
Go, Liam.
My answer's going to be really boring compared to you.
I doubt that.
I like that it shoots SD cards.
Yeah,
Yes,
it fires SD cards like a gun. I could knock somebody out with it. Probably myself in bed when it drops on my head. But no, my answer really is partly the same as Gardner's. Because running gaming on Linux, I'm either at my desk making a video, writing an article, or testing a game, or answering emails, or dealing with many community issues that come up. Mm-hmm. In the evenings, I don't want to be here. And I've had this problem for a very long time now. And it's why I've burnt out on it a few times.
I hear you.
I've wanted something exactly like this that isn't the Switch, so I can play the same games that I've already been enjoying and not have to buy similar or the same again, and just go sit on my sofa.
Physically disconnect from your like work environment.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a huge thing.
It, exactly. And this is it. This has freed me from the shackles of my desk. And
it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't overstate how amazing that feels, to be honest.
Also, like I am happy to admit that I did play the Deep Rock Galactic tutorial in the bathroom today.
I have not made that step just yet.
I'm happy to make that step for you. No, not for you. Never mind.